Hey guys, my name is Kakinada and I'm a junior from IMSA. I live in Carpentersville, Illinois. And some of the things I like to do is play tennis, play basketball, I love to read, and I also really love to play chess. I think negotiation is really important because it's an important part of everyone's daily life. It comes in aspects that you don't really expect, especially when you're asking favors from someone or if you're looking for an internship. Negotiation is a critical part of making sure that that interaction goes well. And that's why I'm here to talk about that today. Just make sure that everybody understands how the art of negotiation works. Hey everyone, I want to thank Marella for that great introduction. And I also want to thank all of you for coming here today. It's a great honor to be able to speak here and to be able to share all my experiences with all of you. And so with that, I'm going to get started. Today, I'm going to be talking about the art of negotiation. Negotiation is such an important and critical part of our daily lives. It determines how we interact with others, how we talk to them, how we form our relationships. It affects so much of our life, yet it's so underused and underpracticed. We don't give it enough importance. We don't practice the skills that are necessary for negotiation. And therefore, a lot of us become ineffective negotiators. Negotiation is a fundamental structure of what is around us. Without it, we won't be able to make sure that projects are successful, or that what we're accomplishing is meaningful and actually useful. And it can affect a long and large range of things. It can affect something from you just trying to see if you want that extra slice of pizza, or if you're not really sure about working with that one person that you're a little bit iffy on. Or even if you're thinking about saving up for that trip next month, but really want to spend it on a Friday night. All of these things play into negotiation. And that's what makes it so important. But before that, what really is negotiation? The common misconception is that negotiation is trying to make someone agree to all of your demands. But that's just unreasonable. You can't make everyone agree to everything you want. So, the Oxford Dictionary defines negotiation as something that's a discussion between two people. And through that discussion, they come to a common agreement. Nowhere in there does it say you have to make the other person agree to everything you want. It simply just says that you have to talk to each other so that you can come to a common consensus and agree to a set of terms that will work for both of you. Because with those terms, you might be able to create something new and something that could change the world. And that's what I'm here to talk about today. Why is negotiation important? How do we do it effectively? And what does it bring us in the end? My story starts 1 year ago. I was an IMSA sophomore, and it was my first time coming here, or going to a residential high school. I mean, I'd really never seen anything like it before. How many people have heard of a residential high school for kids that are interested in math and science? When I came here, I was amazed by the opportunities that I could find here, and that all the people I could meet. Everywhere I looked, I found all these interesting clubs, activities, organizations, all these classes that I wanted to take, and all these people I wanted to talk to and meet. There was so much here that I wanted to do. But the thing that I wanted to do the most was to go into IMSA's Student and Inquiry Research Program, the SIR program at IMSA. The SIR program is known throughout the state as a program that helps students learn about their field, just get experience in it. They get to talk to these mentors who tell them all their experiences. Mentors who are experts in their fields and have been in there for such a long time that they can pass on so much experience and knowledge to their students. At least, that's what it's supposed to be. But in reality, it's just a really large regret for IMSA seniors and juniors. Year after year, when I talk to my IMSA seniors, they all tell me how their experience wasn't meaningful, how it wasn't anything special to them, and really was just a large waste of time for them and their mentor. They weren't able to get anything out of it. It was a program that was supposed to be so fun, so educational, so useful to them, when in reality, it just was a big waste of time. After looking forward to this so much, I didn't really want to imagine that my experience would turn out like that my experience would be something unfulfilling, something that really didn't mean anything to me in the end. So I was determined to make sure that that didn't happen to me. I was determined to make sure that when I went into my SIR, it would be something meaningful to me and my mentor. It would be something that would change the world in whatever small way, but it would do something to affect the research of the world. I wanted to make sure that my entire experience was not like my seniors. But I wasn't really sure where to start. I wasn't sure how to get someone to sit down with me, how to get someone to email me back, or really even talk to me. I mean, it's kind of hard to get these professionals to talk to you when you don't have a college degree on your resume, or you're simply just in high school. I wanted to find a way to just sit down with these people and just to get to know me so that I could show them what skills I have. And my opportunity came. It came through IMSA's Element program. The Element program is something that advises students to go to 1871. It's a 1-week-long event that takes students to 1871 every day and just tries to get them exposed to entrepreneurship and technology. I thought that this was my chance. This was how I was going to get my next SIR. This was how I was going to get my meaningful experience, my meaningful internship. That this was going to be how I met all of these incredible people and gained all of these incredible experiences. I wanted to make sure that I was able to meet all the organizations, all these people that I wanted to. And I wanted to make sure that by the end of that week, I would come away with an experience that would be meaningful to me for the rest of my life. So I had everything planned out. For the first 2 days in my week, I would make sure that I would just go up to these people, just talk to them and meet them. Just try to get to know them. For the next 3 days, I would just try to make sure that I present myself, present my skills, present what I know, and just present myself in a positive light to them, so that when I do go to ask an internship, they'll be more receiving, and that they would think, yeah, even though he doesn't have a degree or college on his resume, he could still work in our lab. He has skills that might be beneficial to us. I looked up all the organizations and all the people that worked in 1871. I mean, 1871 is one of the premier tech hubs in Chicago, so it was a great place for me to start. So I wanted to look up all these organizations, all these new and interesting ideas. So I had everything listed out, all the people I wanted to meet, all the organizations I want to go to. But when I think about it in retrospect, that really might have been what led to my failure that week. Really might have been what led to my unmeaningful experience at 1871. And let's go into why. When I went to 1871, the first 2 days went pretty smoothly. I was able to talk to all the people I wanted to just get to know these people, these amazing entrepreneurs who were risking their entire lives on these startups. I wanted to get to know them, get to know their projects, and just find out what I was interested in. But the problem came in the next 3 days. When I talked to these people again and tried to present myself, the emails I got back just said, "We'll get back to you," or the responses I got from them were lukewarm at best. And the worst of all was when I got these internship offers that were the exact ones that I regretted and didn't really want, the exact ones that were just large regrets for my seniors. I was frustrated. I didn't know what to do. How was I supposed to address this? How was I supposed to make sure that the same experience didn't happen to me? I was talking to all these people, meeting them, trying to make sure I put my best foot forward. But in the end, all I got back was a bunch of frustration and these responses that I really didn't want to look forward to. I was getting the exact same responses that my seniors talked about. I felt like I was in the exact same spot my seniors were, forced to accept an opportunity that I really didn't want to, forced to pursue an internship that I knew would be not really meaningful in the end. I really wasn't sure what to do. But that's when we had a speaker come in. His name was Thomas Stovall. In the last hour of my week at 1871, he came in and tried to explain to us what he did in his work. He's a resident entrepreneur at Google and a member of Code 2040. He connects minorities all over the world, and especially ones in the tech industry, so that they can get the resources and the support that they need. He was someone I admired a lot, and when he came in, he kind of explained how his meetings went and how he just talked to people. He said that in all of his meetings, if he spent an hour with someone else, he would only spend 5 minutes of that with actual negotiation. 5 minutes of that was just getting down to business and knocking out all the agreements and terms that you need. That didn't really make sense to me. If the entire point of the conversation was to form an agreement between you and your partner, why was only 5 minutes of it actual content? What were the other 55 minutes? What were you doing during that time? And he told us that for the other 55 minutes, you have to be able to build a trust and connection between you and your partner. Otherwise, any negotiation that you do will just fall through the cracks. Because without trust, nothing can grow and nothing can start. That's the quote I remember from him the most. Now, building trust, that's pretty vague. I wasn't really sure where to start with that because it's not something that you can easily define as getting. But it was a starting point for me. So I wanted to do some research and figure out what to do. And so through my research, I found a couple of articles, specifically one from Harvard Law. It referenced 5 key points that you needed to have in order to make sure that your negotiation went smoothly. Because the basis of negotiation is to make sure that you have trust between yourself and your partner. Because without trust, you won't ever be able to effectively complete your work or build an organization or do anything you want to. But how do you build that trust? When I looked up any article about meeting new people, the first thing I found was how it was so awkward to do so. To just come up to someone and say, "Hey, how are you doing?" It's something that our society really isn't used to, especially when it comes to asking them for a favor. People immediately get turned off when you try to ask them for a favor immediately after meeting them. It's not something anybody wants to look forward to. And I didn't really know how to get past this. But they said that before even getting started, you have to first build a connection between yourself and the person you're talking to. And that's why the 5 key points that they referenced were making sure that your person felt appreciated. Your partner felt appreciated, that he was needed there, that he wasn't just some other person who could be replaced with anyone or with any project. That his affiliation was equal to yours. He was a partner. He wasn't someone who worked under you, and he wasn't someone who was bossing you around either. He also had to make sure that his status was appreciated, that his experience, his knowledge was actually appreciated in the relationship and was used effectively. And you also have to make sure the role was completely appreciated and was made sure that it was made significant, that they weren't some cog in a wheel, that they were an important aspect to the entire project. And you also have to ensure their autonomy, because if they don't feel like they have the freedom to do what they want in the relationship, no one's going to be interested. No one will want to work with you if they don't feel like they're being appreciated enough. And that hit me. And it hit me really hard. Because when I thought about what I was doing at 1871, I realized I was only focusing on the projects I wanted to work with. I was only looking at the work I wanted to do. I wasn't really looking at the people. I was just looking at, hey, this is pretty cool. Can I join this? Or, that looks like something I want to do. Not like, that's someone I want to work with. That's someone I trust. That was missing from my conversations. And I wanted to make sure I fixed that. So, from then on, whenever I went in to talk to someone or just to negotiate with someone, I didn't go in with the goal of getting what I wanted. I didn't go in with the goal of making sure that I came away with all my demands and that I came away with an internship if I was looking for one. I went in with the goal of trying to get to know this person, trying to build a connection between us so that we could have a trusting relationship. I went in with the goal to make sure that if I talked to them, I would be able to come away with a meaningful experience. And I continue to do that, just to continue to talk to people and to get to know them. And my opportunity finally came on April 4th of this year. I went to Northwestern's Research Day, and I wanted to meet all these incredible people. I mean, these guys were basically my heroes. They were doctors who were researching cancer and just pushing the medical field forward just so much. I wanted to just learn from them, just to get to know their experience, just to get to know them. I mean, the day was an amazing experience for me. But one thing that really stood out was when I met one specific person, Dr. Vishal Kothari. He was a researcher at Northwestern, and he was studying prostate cancer at the time. I just wanted to get to know him and his project. But what ended up happening was that we got to know each other pretty well, and he started talking to us, and we hit it off. At the end of that conversation, I was pretty satisfied. I thought I got to know a professor pretty well, and I was pretty happy about that. But what I wasn't expecting was right when I was about to leave, he turned and asked me if I wanted to join him in his lab as an intern. Honestly, I was shocked, because here I was, just talking to this person, someone I admired so much, whose work I admired so much. And he was offering me the internship of my dreams, and I didn't even ask for it or go in with the intent of getting it. I just went in with the intent of learning and trying to get to know these people, and I was getting the internship of my dreams. I was stunned by this. That day when I went home, I really thought about it, about my experience with him and about my experience with talking to him. I felt like I really had a connection with him. And I felt that he trusted me and I could trust him in our relationship. It was something meaningful to the both of us. And it turned out to be an experience that I would never forget. My entire experience was just based off of that one conversation and just us being able to build trust with each other. And so with that, I urge all of you, whenever you go on to negotiate for find new opportunities, I urge all of you to focus on the person, to focus on building trust between you and your partner, to focus on making sure they're able to make that connection. Because without that trust, and without that relationship, nothing can grow and nothing can start. Thank you.